Hi there, everybody.
Hello, everybody. You are tuned into Nong, and my name is Neo.
And my name is Lebu. This week, we really wanted to appreciate you guys as the subscribers, man. We really like to thank you, man. I was looking at the first video that we posted. So now, we actually like how we actually grown, right? So now, this actually shows that with consistency, you actually get to where you want to go, right? So now today, man, it's just about appreciating you guys, telling you guys about what our plans are, and if you are actually down for that, please do comment down below and tell us that. Thumbs up.
We have reached 1.5 thousand subscribers. We appreciate every single one. We know that data is a problem, especially in South Africa. So we make sure that when we package, we do so much research. We actually plan what we are going to speak about and what we're going to leave out. So we appreciate each and every one of you guys. I mean, our journey started with humble beginnings. I still remember the first video that Lev was speaking about. And I'm quite proud of it because if it didn't start, we wouldn't be here today, man.
Most definitely.
And
most
hopefully
definitely.
that 10 years from down the line, we'll look back at this video and I'll be like, Lebza, that's you, man.
So now, there are important questions, 3 important questions that I wanted Neo and I to actually discuss for you guys, right?
Yeah.
So now the first question that I wanted to ask was that why did we actually start this channel now?
True. I mean, with us is that teaching is very close to our heart. I remember immediately after school we started volunteering for about 8 years, and there was a program that we were involved in, and then we were like, how can we add value to this from the subjects that we know? And I can tell that financial maths was somebody's favorite topic. So then we were like, okay, you know what? We actually enjoy teaching and we actually enjoy interacting with people out there. So now how can we add that in whatever that we're doing? Then we found out that we actually love property. So the big question was like, how do we merge the two? How do we merge property and teaching? And then YouTube came and was like, gents, I've been here, man. I've been waiting for you guys.
No, most definitely. So now we are the service guys, right?
Yeah.
So now I want to actually give my 100% to everybody that is about to listen to me, right?
Sure.
So now if you do have some way or somehow that we can actually improve on how we deliver our content, please do post it down below, right? So now the second question is that where do you want us to take this channel?
I mean, with us, before I even think about where would I want to take this channel, let's speak about where is the channel right now. The channel is founded on real content. Content that is not fluff, that has no fluff. I mean, people that have been on Zoom with us know that for sure. Our network knows that for sure, that these guys, when they bring it on, they bring it on. Trust me. We're not going to be like, you know what, this is this. You can actually maneuver around this. No, we actually prefer us talking about the practicality of property investing and what can go. As much as we're going to speak about what can go right, we need to also speak about what can go wrong.
I think that's the main premise of non-wealth, right? I am actually going to give you the good side and the bad side of property investing. And then it will be totally up to you if you are actually going to take the risk or not, right? Because now at the end of the day, it all depends on you. If you are a risk taker, if you are someone who's actually willing to actually take out their time and actually put their mind to this property investing, then obviously, man, let's do this. But now if you are someone who's actually looking for that quick buck, looking for the shiny syndrome, man, property isn't going to be your thing, man.
True, man. I remember this weekend when we were speaking about development with a client, and then the client was like, do we really want to go into property investing? That's when we knew that we did a great job in terms of putting property out there. Because at the end of the day, you do not want to make it seem easy, and then somebody else is going to come through and then get burnt, and then they'll be like, but you guys said I can do this overnight. So that's when I actually got excited and I was like, you know what? We're not discouraging you to actually invest into property. We're just showing you a picture with regards to the back office. So there's the front office, which is just the keys, when Lebza shines the keys. And then there's the back office with regards to, am I making a profit? Do I know when I'm going to cash flow? Do I know when I'm going to break even? Is it possible for me to actually expand, or do I feel stuck? So now our content is actually based on the practicalities of what is happening on a daily basis. Hence, I think we are able to relate with so many people on that notice because our content is based on what is happening.
So now, back to the question, man. Where are you taking this particular channel?
The channel has meant so much, man, and we always want to grow. So now the question will be, how can we actually be innovative? How can we be innovative? is that we are actually equipping ourselves. We're equipping ourselves on a daily basis in terms of creating a course. We've created a course for the clients, and we created a network whereby we can relate to them, because we've realized something with YouTube is that the people, our community, our network can actually see us, but we can't see them. We can't answer their questions. So at least with the network that we're able to create, was that, you know what, we can have a one-on-one with them, so that YouTube becomes a facility. It facilitates the relationship between us and the network, or rather, it becomes a gateway that connects us with our network.
Just a side note, pro property investor, please do send us an invite on our Facebook group. We will actually accept you, and you will actually get weekly reports on what we are actually willing to do. So now the another thing that I was actually telling Neo about is that, hey man, we've been always talking about property investing, but now we haven't been talking about how the business side of property investing actually works. When you do get a flip and you do get that money, how do you actually invest it in another business that's not property related? So now what we're thinking about is that, how about we actually talk about business in terms of property investing? If you are down for that, please do post down below and say that. I think it's a good idea, man.
Sure. I've got a question for you, Lebza, because you always like hitting me with these jabs when we online with our network. So you didn't anticipate this, but trust me, I planned it since last year or 2 years ago. So
Okay.
tell me, man, I mean, where you are right now, you're communicating, we can say, relatively with people that are older than you.
Yeah.
That are older than you. It goes without saying that you're still a freshman. So now, how do you actually gain? If I should ask you, how do you gain somebody who's older than you? How do you gain their trust?
Okay, so number one, I think it's transparency, which non wealth is always based on transparency. The person needs to know that you are actually coming from a good place,
Sure.
right? So now, if I'm going to be actually coming to you and saying that invest in this and then next year you'll become a millionaire, I mean, I know that that's going to be close to impossible, especially if you're starting without anything, right? So now, one thing that we are actually based on is that I'm going to give you a true reflection of where you are and where you can actually be if you
Okay.
do put in the hard work. That's the first thing that we're looking at. The second thing that we're looking at is that, which information do you have, or which knowledge do you have based on property investing,
Sure.
right? That I can actually give to the particular client. So now I think that for a lot of people, the age thing is actually doesn't work if someone is actually giving you something that you can actually understand and think about, right? So now, in terms of age, it then becomes the transparency and applying knowledge that I have, and how can I actually help you to actually grow your property portfolio in a more sustainable manner.
Wow, I'm impressed. How about you answer this one that you didn't anticipate again? So number two is, how do you relate with the younger generation now in terms of property investing? Because with my experience with the younger generation, it's been more of, you know what, guys, I want to invest in property and I want to holiday. I want to be on holiday for 2 years, and I'm looking towards becoming a billionaire tomorrow. So in terms of the younger generation, how do you also relate towards them?
I think with the younger generation, right, it then becomes that, how do I actually bring down that mental barrier from where they are thinking about that 200% within 3 months, right,
Okay.
to where I am right now, being realistic, growing your money in a realistic manner. Because now, one thing that I would hate for you to do, right, is to have 2,000 bucks, put it in some scam or something that will tell you that you are actually going to be growing your portfolio at a 200% margin, and then only finding out that that 2,000 actually gets beat up. So now, one thing I like to emphasize is that with property, it's going to take you a long time to get the information, to get the skill of actually implementing everything that we're talking about and putting it into practice. It's actually going to take you a long time to perfect that craft,
Hmm.
right? So now, once that client is able to understand that that's where they want to be and how long is it actually going to be, practically speaking, then only we can actually move forward. But now, if the client doesn't actually want to understand that, okay, it might take you up to 5 years for you to be able to actually start seeing the fruits of this particular property, then if they do not understand that, then it becomes a problem.
Wow. Wow. I'm quite impressed with the way you answered it, man. I mean, that's exact the way you packaged it is the exact way that I'll package what non-wealth is. I mean, in whatever that you said, you spoke about our mission, you spoke about our values, you spoke about everything in that whole paragraph, and I thank you, man. And I thank you.
So now the last thing, that what do we actually provide for the community?
In terms of what we're providing for the community, as you heard it for yourself, is that we are passionate about property investing. I mean, it goes without saying, I always even apologize. You must know when I start apologizing for we are coming in, you must know that's when we're on our element. So the thing about us is that we are passionate about property investing and we want to share all this information that we have with you. So I think we want to break that barrier, as you did mention that can I just go into property investing, then see forward that what does it have for me? So we are rather in terms of let's look at the process or let's look at the science behind property investing. What makes property invest to actually roll? So I think that's what we are about.
So now, if you are actually serious about investing in property investing and you want to have a conversation with us, pop us an email at property@nongwealth. I said at property. property@nongwealth.co.za, and we will actually answer that. Nongwealth
signing out. Hope you subscribed.